On this episode, we're chatting about the mind-body connection and how our emotions come through as physical symptoms. I have permission to share this story, and it was something that happened on a client session recently, and it was really powerful for the client at this time. And what we're working on is her healing, right? She's come out of a narcissistic marriage, and she is on her healing journey to reclaim herself after, you know what it's like if you've been there, coming out of one of these relationships. It's like trying to find your way and fumble your way around in the dark. And so one of the things that came up was that she's very, and this was something I was able to point out to her with love, because what is the point of having a coach if they're not there to point out your blind spots? But she was just really irritated a lot and had a lot of anger coming out toward her ex still. What he's doing, what he's not doing, just how he is, how he isn't, what he's doing with the kids, what he's not doing with the kids. And so when I was able to point that out to her, and we were able to go deeper into the feelings under that, right? Because the irritation and the aggression and the anger and that constant just like, oh, he's such an idiot and this, and he's so annoying, and why is he doing it that way? Right? That is armor for softer, more vulnerable emotions that we don't necessarily want to feel. And so when we were going deeper and deeper into the session, the thing that came through was she is afraid to go there, because when she does, she gets a really bad, debilitating migraine that leads to uncontrollable vomiting. And so now, working through this, we were able to connect the dots that her body was giving her that violent physical reaction so that she wouldn't have to go there again, right? It's a self-protection. When we are really fearing going there, our body will come up with physical reactions, right? And so a lot of times there's a lot of stuff back there. There's a lot of stuff in our backpacks that we've accumulated throughout a lifetime. Betrayals, neglect, abandonment, other forms of abuse, trauma. We carry them like big boulders in our backpack, in a backpack that we take around with us through life. And when we're doing that, we'll notice like everything feels heavy. It just feels like we have this heaviness. And so we need to take each boulder out of the backpack, and basically it's like the unpacking of it, of each one. And so doing this with a skilled practitioner, I have a background as a therapist, I have my training as a counselor, so I know how to do this with clients properly and then bring them back into the now awareness when we've touched on some emotional material and they're having an emotional release, crying, that kind of thing. We go there and then we come out of it, right? Whereas if you are working with an unskilled coach, quote unquote, that does not have that expertise and know-how, you'll feel worse. Even if you have a therapist that doesn't know how to do that, you will feel worse. So that's a side note. So in this, we were able to get her moving in a different direction. So she was given homework and the things to practice. But with this particular situation, and this is just what came through for me, so I really tap into my intuitive side when I'm working with women as well. And what came through was talk to that part of yourself and let that part of yourself know that it's safe to feel this, it's safe to heal, and that you don't need to be so harsh with me, right? You can be gentle. Healing can be gentle. And then we comfort our inner child, our inner little person, and we can say, I'm here for you now. You're not alone. And that it is safe to feel that. And so, if you have had a lifetime in your childhood, your family of origin, there was abuse, trauma, chaos, a family member had a chronic illness, or you had loss as a child or a young person, and then you ended up in a string of bad relationships on top of that, like you have a lifetime of unpacking, and it doesn't need to take years. This is the thing, and I hear this a lot with women. I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of stuff to clear. I have a lot of baggage. It's going to take me forever. I'm never going to heal this. And we need to shift that and realize actually healing happens in the now. It happens now. It doesn't happen when we feel better. We can create our self-sourced good feelings to heal in the now. And it doesn't need to take 57 hours in a therapist chair getting nowhere. And I'm not knocking therapy. It's my